Welcome to On the Air. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Gregg Potter, a 1978 graduate of RV. This is the second show we've had with Gregg, and it seems much has happened since last time we've talked to you. But first, a little bit of history. Could you tell us how it started out at RB? About the band.
Yeah, about the RB band. Well, let's see. I joined the band. That's it, the band. Well, let's see. I've always played the drums, and I came to RB, and they said, well, Mr. Potter, you're too small for basketball or football, so we're going to have to put you in the band. And that's what they did. I started in the band, and let's see, all 4 years. Played in the marching band, carried a big drum, big snare drum, and let's see, what else I do? Played in the jazz band. I played in all the different kind of bands they had here, and I guess I was able to at least hang out at football games. You know, I mean, I guess that's as close as you're going to get to cheerleaders and all, you know, being at the football games. But I just didn't wear a football uniform. I just wore the band uniform. And that's always a real nice outfit to wear because, what's that?
Eventually, you did move into the Steve Dahl band.
That was after high school, though.
After high
school.
When
I graduated high school.
What happened into that interim period between?
Well, I went to college, just like...
Oh, really?
Yes, all the kids should. I went to college and right out of high school at 78. Went to college for a year. So in 79, beginning of 80, I started playing with Steve Dahl.
Okay.
But you can watch the first show. I give that whole story on the first show. You know that two-part miniseries we're going to have? Mm-hmm. Gregg Potter in America or something.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Steve Dahl band, Teenage Radiation?
Well, let's see. Tell you a little about the band.
Because we have some footage that we want to take a look at if you want to...
Why don't we check out that footage, and then I'll tell you all about it when you come back from that footage.
Okay.
You know, because then you can ask me a little bit more, like what was in that footage we watched. I mean, it's a rock group, and it backs up Steve Dahl, and we play all those funny songs, or we played them at one point.
And you're on the drums?
And I'm on the drums, just like in the RB band, but I'm not wearing that blue uniform with the big white hat.
Well, let's take a look at that footage.
Yeah, and pick me out. I'm the smallest guy in the band, but I'm sitting down. So watch, and you'll see. Okay.
Well, that was great.
Yeah, well, see, I'm the guy that sits in the back and just waves my arms. See, it's like, what do you mean you're not looking at me? You know, I just sit in the back and just wave my arms. And, well, that was what, at the Park West, and that was with Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
So that's these, I mean, so you could ask a question like that. Gregg, in the Steve Dahl band. This is like a class. See, I'm going to show you. Like, how to you give the guy 30 seconds in a real movie, and all of a sudden, he's going to be the teacher, you know?
Of course.
But
you did more with Steve Dahl than just playing his band, didn't you?
Right. We played in the band. I mean, that was, let's see, probably 19... Well, what hairdo did I have? That's how you check the time. It's like...
That was Park West 80...
Well, how'd the hair look? Did it have blonde in it at that point? Then it's like between 81 and 82. See, and then if it didn't have blonde and it just was to the side, then that's 82 to 83. See?
But you guys kind of drifted.
Yeah, then we went into after we played with the band, but then Steve also got involved in television.
Okay.
And that's where I think we can get closer to what I did with the movie thing now. I mean, it was starting with those last, let's see, the last 3 years or so, Steve started with television shows, where instead of just playing at the Park West or playing concerts, we were on television with the...
What was the idea behind changing the medium?
Well, it was just growing. I mean, I had been with him for 6 years, and he had been doing it for at least 7 or 8 years, so I guess that's kind of the natural... The next progression, right, is to go on to television, and his shows were, let's see, we had...
Tell us a little bit about the shows.
Yeah, we had regular network shows, like hour specials. Let's see, the first one Steve had was Not for Midgets Only, I believe. It was on NBC. Now, I wasn't in that one, but I mean, that started his television. And then, let's see, Greetings from Graceland won a local Emmy here. That was on I believe, Channel 7, ABC. Just 1 hour specials and Steve Dahl's comedy, and we would just be in the background. And then we also did a cable television show in 84, 85, and then I think we have some footage from there too, that cable television show. You know, that pre-production we did.
Yeah, all those hours.
Yeah, and then there was also a morning television show on channel like 60 or 66 or 97 or 74 or something, like a channel far away. But that morning show, that was like 2 hours a day, every day. And so, I mean, a lot of television. And then...
Which one is a clip from?
The clip is from the cable television show. Now, that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
about Christmas time, right?
Christmas time, right? And
all right, so we get that mood.
Christmas, holiday spirit. Greg getting presents.
Presents. Well, that's the mood then. Let's take a look at it.
Let's look at Greg and his presents. Hey.
This is Elvis.
Hey.
Known worldwide, Elvis Presley captured the hearts of millions of fans throughout the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and remains...
Okay, this is
only remains.
him jamming.
He's remains now.
Well, someone else has got a
The
mic.
greatest legend in music, even
Someone else has got a
today.
mic. Michael Jackson.
Born on January 8th, 1935, in East Tupelo, Mississippi, Elvis Aaron Presley displayed musical talent early in life. As a child, Elvis loved to take quaaludes and sing gospel songs in church,
Okay.
boasting later that he knew practically every religious song that's ever been written.
Okay. So
Thank you very much.
Now, Elvis has a lot of friends,
yes,
like
this is
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson goes on tour with him.
Doesn't say that in here.
Well, what I figured out, though, is if we take the guitar off Elvis and put it on Michael and take off the glove and jacket, you'll have a Prince doll.
Yeah, see, I think they're using the same mold. Look at, they're the same size.
Okay, so you got your Michael Jackson goes on
They just
tour
put
with
a little
him.
bit more brown dye in the Michael Jackson
Right,
one.
and then you have your Gretzky. He is their security because he's the toughest. Mr. T-Doll would have been better, but Gretzky's the toughest guy I got.
Then they go and entertain G.I. Joe troops.
That's Bob Hope, the Bob Hope guy.
Okay, and then swivel
And where's
seat.
the Dr. Nick doll? Where's that?
Well, the closest we're going to get to that now are
He
these are
comes
from,
with a little prescription pad.
yeah, these are gifts I've got a few years ago, but they go along with the van. These are the Kiss dolls.
Is this happening here?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Greg. This is so haphazard, isn't it?
Yeah, but okay, now here are the Kiss dolls, and I guess this year you could use them as Motley Crue dolls.
Yep.
Because they look
Well,
just like
except
them.
Kiss, now they've taken their makeup off, right?
But Motley Crue's put it on, so now we've got Motley Crue dolls.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But
Hey, I'm running.
they go on tour with them, see, and with that's like a little Greg. You found that right on the mantelpiece when I came down, next to the candy.
How old are you?
Yeah, I get a stocking full of candy. I don't get like little toys. I get big toys or nothing, or little drummers.
I think that's about it, huh, Greg?
Yeah, that's
about the
well,
boots?
the boots.
Well,
Well, that's the grown-up. The grown-up.
Oh, I don't know,
present.
Greg. I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Well,
I don't know too many grown-ups who walk around in those things.
I don't know, but that's like the one thing
Now,
that
what kind of snake is that?
That's boa constrictor. They were made just. Oh wait, you want me to hold that thing or just leave it there?
It's TV bed.
Okay,
Learn
this
to
is,
work it.
This is my grown-up gift. These are like.
Maybe next year your parents could give you a cable show like mine did.
Well.
So that was the show, eh?
There you go. There are those boots.
All right.
Yeah.
What kind of feeling did you get working with Steve Dahl on this sort of production? Is it different than the
Well,
band feeling, or?
Well, rewatching that's nice. Hard to believe I'm 20 years old.
Yeah.
No, luckily you can get away with anything you want. I mean, working with him was obviously a lot easier than if I would have gotten a job with, I don't know, someone serious. I mean, he does make things a lot easier. As for you don't get an ulcer, obviously, working on a show like that.
So it's kind of loosely put together. Or?
Well, I mean, there's structure there, but he lets you kind of make a fool out of yourself. You know, he doesn't slap you for making it. You know, he does a good job of
Kind of like what
picking
we're
out
doing
those
here.
flaws. Yeah, no, we're not doing too bad here.
But
No, it's fine.
question more to the point,
Yeah.
do you get those kind of gifts every Christmas?
Yeah, Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. Fortunately, yeah, it's kind of become like which one of my friends can outdo the other with getting me something wilder or crazier. That's a good excuse. Like you don't see me at Toys R Us every second day buying stuff.
Okay, well, we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back.
With Greg.
With Greg.
He's a nice guy.
Oh, you got a real nice beard, you know what really caught my eye. I told her, must we know your mind is weird, you really are a nutty kind of guy. I told her, come on, get
Hello, we're back again, and my nice guest is
So he's a
Greg
nice
Potter.
guy, yeah.
So, TV was more or less the transition period, and then you moved into something bigger and better, movies,
Yeah.
but specifically Lucas. So,
Yeah, that's the movie I made that came out.
so you're a star now.
No, you haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, Hollywood wasn't quite as easy as I thought. So, I figured once you're in a movie, they give you your own trailer.
You had your own trailer?
Let's see, 20th Century Fox welcomes Gregg Potter on the door. I figure by that point, right, next will be a Ferrari or Porsche parked next to that trailer. Yeah, I make movies now.
You make movies.
yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about Lucas? A little bit about the...
Yeah,
what
go
you
see
did?
the movie and stay for the first 20 minutes and then leave. Because that's the part I'm in. See, so what you do if you want to impress somebody is you take your date there and you watch the first 20 minutes, see the one scene I'm in, and then just get sick and say, oh, I've got to go home. But I want to see more of Greg. Say, I can't, we'll come back and see it later. And just never take her back.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll see a lot of me because you'll have seen the...
We
I'm in one scene of that. Unfortunately, the other stuff I had done in the film...
Like lines?
Like lines and other scenes, Spielberg wanted to use them in the new... that's right, the new film he's doing. So he kind of borrowed them from Lucas.
Oh, okay.
See, George Lucas,
Yeah.
kind of like Star Wars or something. So he wanted to use some of my other scenes that I did in Lucas for another big movie.
Oh.
So they kind of took mine out of Lucas.
So they're not laying on the floor?
No. Spielberg carries them in his wallet, and he holds them up and looks at them because he's,
That Gregg Potter.
Gremlins 2, that's it, Gremlins 2, he wants to use it. No.
Okay, well...
Yeah, so
we
there's
don't,
one scene that...
we don't really have a film clip, but could you kind of like show or maybe describe what you did in the movie?
Sure. Where's that one picture of me where I'm looking real tough? See, I'll show you just how tough I am. I mean, watch, I'll show you. See, I'm not on the camera. See, like, I'm real tough. It's a cord, it's not...
Okay.
See, in the movie, I'm real tough, like this. It's hard to believe this guy has a nightlight and got his gym clothes stolen 3 times in high school. But I play a high school tough kid similar to this, and I'm the leader of a gang. And what I do is see that fella there, Corey Haim there. He's the star, he's Lucas. And what I do in the scene is I grab him by the face and push him to the floor, kind of like that. I push him to the floor, and he looks up at me, and I just act mean and tough. And that's about it. So I guess that's why they do call Hollywood the land of make-believe and all, because if you take a look at me now and then you take a look at this, and you see these blue pants, I really don't think you're going to be too scared of him in the hallways, But at this point, I was one tough guy. I'm trying to work the television like I've been on before. See, I'm real tough at this point.
Well, actually, Lucas was a good movie for you to be in because it was sort of reminiscent of your own high school career, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's true. Because I guess Lucas is the same thing. He's a small guy. You know, I wasn't quite as big as I am now. I mean,
yeah.
You notice now I'm a lot bigger and my voice is deeper and stuff. But in high school, I was pretty much the, you know, the girls liked me as a friend, you know. Sure, Greg, I'll be your friend. Until I was a senior, and then I could date freshmen, because then I was older than them, and then they thought I was a man.
So you were a little bit behind, or ahead, I should say.
Well, I was
behind in age, ahead in grade.
I was younger than everyone else. I was double promoted.
Oh.
So I mean, I was always not only younger than my class, just like in Lucas there, you know, I was younger looking. You know how it is in high school every year. You know, I didn't shave in high school, you know what I mean? I don't shave now really, but I mean, so this is a good thing to talk about, I think, on a half-hour show. Greg not shaving in high school, but I guess, what else is there?
Okay, well, there is something else.
What?
How would you describe a typical day in the movies? What was that like?
Well, wake up about 2 in the afternoon.
So it's rough.
No, unfortunately, you do have to wake up early. I woke up early and I went to my little trailer there, and they say, "Good morning, Mr. Potter." They call me Mr. Potter.
They serve you breakfast and.
They give you breakfast, but at a little trailer, you go up and you walk up like, you know, at the stars, and you talk to them. So, Charlie, what's going on? How's your old man? You know, Martin Sheen. So, you've been hanging out with Rob lately? I was at Limelight with him last night, and, you know, we partied till 3. You know, you talk about, like, all the cool things you did. Unfortunately, though, Lucas, I was, like, the oldest kid on the set. It was kind of like, you know.
Sandbox or?
Not a sandbox exactly, but they all had, like, either skateboards or those little motocross bikes, and they drove them in the hotel lobby and stuff. So, you know, I either rode my little motocross bike or I talked about all my experiences about
with women, or we're not going to mention that. Oops.
That's good. This is the adult version of the show. No. We just talk about. Let's see. You get there in the morning and they slap that makeup on, then you go to wardrobe.
Well, why does it take so long to get everything put together? For a 30-second scene, it takes 10 hours.
What I want to know is how come they film me for many days, but then I only show up for 30 seconds on the screen? That's what I want to know. Maybe we can make a phone call or something. I don't know. That's why it costs so much to go to the show, I guess. No, I guess there's about 7 zillion people working, I think. Maybe if we made a movie with 4 people, we'd be able to do it in less than 7 months. It took, 2.5 months, maybe 3 months to film. It's just a matter of getting everything together. You want everybody to work at their best all together at once. So you take, that famous pudding in the hair scene, which Spielberg now carries in his pocket because he didn't want it to come out in this film. He wants to use it in Star Wars 8 or something.
Yeah.
A scene like that took hours of filming, 15 takes to get the pudding in my hair right, and so that's real nice. So I could beat up Lucas right, and I guess just to, I don't know why it takes so long.
Oh, okay.
Maybe in the next movie I'll figure that out. Maybe so they could pay you more, you know, because you get paid by the hour or something, like kind of like how a truck driver sits and sleeps and then says, "I got a flat tire and it took me a long time," so then you have to pay more for what they delivered because it took.
What do you find to be similarities and differences between the television aspect and the movie part of your career?
You know, that's a very good question. That's a very good question, and I feel like the two mediums are very similar in the way that.
Professor Gregg.
Right, you can go home and look at yourself more. Now, let's see.
Are they a little bit more lax in the television part, or?
Well,
maybe.
Yeah, it seemed the same thing to me. If it's not me sitting behind drums, I'm going to be nervous no matter what I do. I mean, it wasn't quite as... I know on television playing the drums, they said, "Greg, don't play so loud." Whereas at a concert, they said, "You can play as loud as you want." Now, in the movies, you talk this... I mean, it's not like doing stage work and then movies where everything is exaggerated and you move your hands.
So you find them pretty similar.
The television and movies were similar to me, but then again, only a couple of movies under this guy's belt, like 2 movies. Maybe after the 7th or 8th one, I'll think I'm a genius and say, it's so much different and it's such hard work that I really can't believe it. I'd like to go back to television. It's easier.
Speaking of hard work, what are some of the pressures that you experienced during this hard career? Or no, I shouldn't say hard career, but this tough life of yours.
Oh, it is so tough. The pressure is unbelievable. I think the hardest thing is telling your parents that you don't want to go get a real job and you want to stay making movies, and
especially when you're living at home.
right, you want to just keep saying, oh yeah. Now the pressure is definitely, the thing I'm seeing is getting the work. I mean, it's true, you do make more money than you would, say, working at, you make a lot of money for what you did, but the trick is getting the job day after day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try to get a stack of movies like this long, so then you can continue that. So I think the pressure is waiting for that, because you're only as good as the last thing you did. I mean, I hope in 3 years I don't have to say, hey, you want to go see Lucas, man? Like, I was in that. I'd hopefully like to say, you want to go see Planet of the Apes 9 or something? I'm in that now.
Yeah.
Or Friday the 13th, 23, I am Jason or something. I'd like to, the trick, the tension or whatever comes when the hair is really a problem too. Trying to think of a new hairdo every 6 weeks.
I think the question that we've all been waiting for here is, what are some of these actors really like? Are they egotistical, as everyone seems to think?
Yeah, you know who I really hate?
This could be libel, or watch yourself.
I'm just jealous because all the girls like him instead of me.
Okay, let's hear it.
No, what do they really like? Well, Corey Haim, Corey Haim, I call him Lucas or Corey. Let's see, a backstage story about him. He drove his motocross bike he was in the Holiday Inn, and he continued to drive his bike and skid onto the elevator in the hotel and finally broke the elevator. So, I mean, he's like they're really crazy, well, you give a 12-year-old kid that much money and tell him he's a movie star, obviously he's going to be kind of crazy. And who else did I hang out with? Who else got more attention than I did? Let's see, C. Thomas Howell came out for a while, and Rob Lowe, and they're just, picture a 20-year-old kid making $1 million. How's he going to talk? Obviously, he doesn't have too many problems, and I'm sure he has problems, like what bank is giving the best blender, so he can put his money in that bank and get the nicest blend. I don't know. They were really nice guys. I mean, on the weekends they'd come out and see our Steve Dahl concerts, Charlie Sheen or Corey Haim. They would come out. I mean, they really did. They really were nice guys. I mean, it wasn't no stories like they beat up each other, or the 11-year-old kid was drinking and they had to sober him up before each shot. Nothing. They were really just.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break here.
Why? I want to talk more.
Well, you can't. We're taking a break. We'll be back in a minute.
Riverside Brookfield Audiovisual Center, may I help you?
So I think that's going to get in the Inquirer. Well, we're back again with Gregg Potter, and we're going to talk about what is going to come next in your life, in your career. You've made You made the ultimate ascension from a band in RB, let's talk, to the movies. What can possibly be next?
I think that's it.
That's it? You've hit a ceiling.
What else is there? No, I don't know. I guess another
I'm
movie.
still at RB. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, another movie where I last more than 30 seconds. Maybe play with a band that, you know, other than Steve Dahl. I mean,
Any
play with
prospects? Or?
oh, sure. But we don't want to talk about those now because you know that I got to go to my next class, man. So like, I've got to go, and I got PE now, and I got to go make sure my uniform wasn't stolen by someone big enough to be the whole gym class. Yeah, more of pretty much what's going on. I mean, you don't want to see me like working at the Shell station in a week. I mean, not that that's bad, but they don't like this hair.
Yeah, they have hair regulations.
People make fun of me and stuff. At least now I got an excuse for looking like this.
So you'd say movies,
Well, yeah, more movies, and play with a real group where I could play the drums, because I really know how to do that.
What about Steve Dahl? Is there anything left with that, or?
Well, he's in a kind of a transition period now, you know, where he's going to buy his own radio station, and I mean, he's making a move now. So now we've got to see where the main man moves. We've got to try to make Gregg a main man, so so I can talk about him on my next show.
Oh.
I don't know. We'll see where he moves to. He's doing his own big thing right now, where I don't know what'll happen next with that.
So there's no plans in the future for
Yeah, I
anyone?
can't say like, you know, well, in 2 weeks we're going to start doing this again, or in 2 months or 2 years. I don't know. I'm just really working on now. I've got prospects for a possible another movie and a television show, and then musically I'm always playing with other groups, hoping that we could one day have a real record, like one of those Steve Dahl records that I brought. But
which is not here.
yeah, maybe next time. The next show we'll work at.
That's what you
know.
said last time, for some reason.
That's true. Or those ever popular Gregg Potter drumsticks or something. I've got those too. That's true. I could just merchandise all the old stuff I collected from Steve Dahl, I guess. If worse comes to worse, I'll write a book.
Write a book. Well, here, now
I
there's
must know something.
Because
I'm only kidding.
you're only kidding.
I'm only kidding. I would never say anything bad about anybody, but I guess I could always do that. Well, or sell all the old paraphernalia, all those Steve Dahl T-shirts I've got, or all those Gregg Potter drumsticks that are not used.
We could write about our struggling right here, right now.
We're not struggling, man. You didn't bring up anything about girls or anything. I'm doing
Girls.
good.
Women in the future, we could talk about this. Or not.
Maybe we can't.
Okay,
You know,
well,
maybe this is a show for people, not, this isn't the Playboy channel. You know what I mean?
okay. Well, we'll talk after the show.
Maybe we will.
Well, we've seemed
Maybe
to.
after the show. Maybe much later.
Well, we've seemed to run out of things to talk about, and that seems to be it for this edition of On the Air. Gregg, it's been a pleasure talking with you again.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.